Yeah, what would you say someone's thinking about getting a mentor? I mean, what are the main things that you would want someone to take away from a mentor like relationship, or even Eric, what's things that you've taken away from that those experiences?
So, so part of what we're running up against or we're experiencing in building this community is that there's a general lack of understanding around what mentorship is. Like to a lot of people, it comes up as a buzzword. So to our understanding, for our purposes, I guess it's a combination of guidance, mentee driven coaching, and problem solving. Guidance is when you are looking for direction and you need someone to bounce thoughts off who's more experienced than you are. Mentee driven coaching is where you say, I have a problem or I have a goal. I need to figure out how to get to point B. Can you help me? And it's not up to the mentor to drive your coaching or to drive your progress. You need to go to them as a resource, as an authority, as someone who's more experienced and problem solving because you don't know everything. And they're going to have experience with problems that you will run into in your professional life and navigating your career and navigating even the workplace when you start work. And so for us, it's a combination of all those three things. And with that definition, that's what we want to build.
I think that's interesting. Yeah, and I like what you said there about you've got to know almost like where your point B is, right? Before it's a nice thing to have a mentor. You're like, yeah, I've got a mentor, you know, like I'm better
Absolutely.
than everyone, sort of thing. But it's like, okay, you need
Yeah.
to like come to the mentor, or you need almost a reason why you're having someone there, other than just as like, just it's cool to have someone like to talk about your career stuff with, right? It's kind of this thing where it's like, okay, I have you around so that I can better get to this certain destination. And I
Yeah.
think that's really
And
important
it's
too.
good. If I might cut in,
Mm,
like it's good for the mentor as well if you come to them with a point B. Because if you don't, they get frustrated.
mm.
Like, why am I meeting with this person? Is this a social visit? Do they want something from me? Are they trying to sell me something? Like, what is the purpose of this? And so if you go to them with like, this is my goal, this is my plan, this is a difficulty. How can I buy you a cup of coffee or can I have some of your timing to see what your experience with this has been or to see what your thoughts are with this? And then plan out a structure for the next week, 2 weeks, month to see how we get there. Yeah.
Just to add to that as well, I found that I've started to recently mentor people as well as be a mentee as well. And I found the best mentee relationships from my perspective have been people who've like literally DM'd me on LinkedIn. And I'll be like, hey, I've seen your experience. I've seen what you've done. I really want to be in that same space. Do you mind if you take a couple of minutes to chat about it? And that's always been really effective as from a mentorship perspective, because you just say, okay, well, I've been in that position before. I've definitely been that clueless graduate where I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So when you get to the point where you say, okay, well, I have some experience now, I'd really like to help other people in that same position. It it's a really great thing because you're really just passing on that knowledge and people after you don't have to make the same mistakes that you might have made. And that's one of the interesting things about Mentorfold is that we have a lot of mentors who've joined the platform and every single one of them are like, we just want to help other people. It's nothing about getting paid for it. It's nothing about, maybe building a following. It's all about, I've learned all the stuff through a lot of hard work and dedication and a ton of mistakes, and I just want to make sure that the people who come after me don't have to make those same mistakes. And it's very altruistic from that perspective.
Yeah, certainly. Like, there's like that idea of like, paying it forward. And even once you're young and you've received advice or had a mentor, then, once you get that, get that feeling like, okay, I want to give back and give someone else that same experience as what I've had. So yeah, I think this is really cool. And I like this idea about removing the friction between, like, of getting a mentor. I think it's
Yeah.
really, really important.